Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party.
On Tuesday.
Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and gabbing, maybe some microphone gabbing at the after party.
With DJ, Eric, Paige, and...
I love how that cuts off. Tom did a great job there. It just ends with DJ, Eric, Paige, and... just cut off.
and no one.
Yeah, that's what happens
Apparently Supergirl today.
when you do a live remix. That's what happens, I guess.
Wait, who's who?
What? Who's who? What?
Who are
do
your
you
guests
mean?
tonight, Eric? I should have put on the board.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
Canada,
it's not
right.
a great name.
So I'm trying to stick to the three person rule, so we don't have people talking over each other. So we might have a special third person each time we do this. I don't know. Maybe just me and Pagey. Maybe Pagey and I don't know.
Banana Boy.
Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, we have Ben, the DCTV show here. Thank you for joining us, Ben.
Thanks for having
What
me.
time is it at Hogwarts right now? What's the current
Currently,
time?
I just got out of bed at Hogwarts, and it's 3:17 in the morning.
It's the Forbidden Forest past Quidditch. That's the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
in
right.
the forbidden, forbidden layer of Hogwarts. So, I snuck out. Anyway.
Canada Graphs is here. He's in the chat. He's here moderating tonight. He'll be back soon.
Sorry that he's not on.
No, it's fine. I talked to him earlier. So we have a few topics to talk about tonight. Canada Graphs is going to be here in the topics because we're using two of his photos to talk about. So there's that. We got a few things to discuss tonight. We're going to talk a little bit Batwoman. We're going to talk about some Superman and Lois. And we're going to talk about some, I guess, Justice League / Fantastic Beast / Aquaman stuff, and then a few other maybe smaller topics. Andrew, he's from Hogwarts. I thought we just established that.
Yeah, way up north.
/ Watford.
So we have a couple super chats here. We're gonna go ahead and get these out of the way. One from Double Crit, $2 super chat, and a Team Eric member. Thank you so much. Will the Flash be delayed further than January? And on the heels of that, we have doubling it up, Gary Gaman with a $1.99 super chat. Is the Flash getting delayed later than February?
Do you want me to take this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Gary, the answer to all your questions that you will ask tonight will probably be no. So whenever you send the super chat, just expect no to be the response.
As
Gary,
long as the
yes.
shows are still filming, they will not get delayed. Unless you hear that the shows are, oh gosh, look at that. It's going to be super confusing now over here. As long as the shows are filming, yes, they're going to come out on time, but we'll see. All right. So, wow, we got, I see another super chat here. Jon Snow Rules with a $2 super chat. Hey, I heard Martian Manhunter is in the Snyder cut. So I already was prepared for this. I had the tweet pulled up. Let me get it ready so we can show it here on screen. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier. The picture isn't super it's not the best shot here. It's I think it was taken from another stream here on YouTube, I think, or somewhere. Let's see, where's it at? I think it's this one. And there it is. And I'm sorry, that's as large as it'll go. It's a really tiny, they just cut out the square on StreamYard or whatever. But that is the shot of, I guess, would you say that's concept art? What would that be?
Like a concept art / like a 3D thing, like model for him.
Yeah. To me, that's not. I mean, that doesn't get me.
If it's from the movie, then
it,
so hopefully, praying to the war gods that this is not from the movie. This is like literally concept. Because
yeah. I mean, it looks like Martian Manhunter to me from like Supergirl season 2, right? I mean, it doesn't look great in that shot.
It looks like almost like a ancient take on him, if that makes sense. Like making it seem like what he's wearing is like thousands of years old or something like that.
Yeah, because it's got. I mean, what do you think though overall? I mean,
the only thing I could say is that when I did see it on Twitter and they zoomed in, he has like weird stuff going on with his face.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the hell that meant to be battle scars. I don't know what's going on there. Once again, maybe insinuating the whole like thousands of years old. Maybe he was a part of that battle on Earth. Who knows?
Yeah,
what it is. But he had like weird stuff going on with his face.
Yeah.
I will say that like I'm not pumped for it or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not making me go, yeah, I'm ready to see him or whatever. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike the Martian Manhunter we have on Supergirl. I just don't think he's used as well as he could be. But I think the most current version of him looks pretty good. And I think that's because they've gotten away from like full CGI. Now it's mostly just the head. Which I think is fine. So,
well, my big thing with the whole Snyder thing is like anything that's new, I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see a different interpretation of what they wanted to do with that movie. I don't care about characters that weren't in the theatrical cut for the most part.
Right.
The only one that's sort of intrigued by is probably Darkseid. That's about it. Because the thing is that going forward, none of it counts. They're not going to keep the same guy that you played Martian Manhunter most likely. They're not going to use the same guy that played Darkseid him, and they're probably going to change up pretty much every single aspect that isn't already in the normal timeline, like the stuff that releases in theaters.
Yeah, so, people getting excited about all these people coming into this film. You have to realize they're probably not coming back.
They could be there for 5 minutes, and that's the only 5 minutes I'll ever be in this thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's why I don't overly care. But I'm interested to see what it's like, but I'm not going to be invested in and looking it up thinking it over too much. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Jordan Arn is here, one eye and super chat, and a Team Eric member. Thank you so much. Have you read the 3 Jokers comic? I have not. Have either of you guys read that yet?
I've read the first issue. I got the next 2 there. I'm just one of those. I think I've said this before in the thing. I'm one of those like binge comic readers. I'll just leave stuff stack up in my Comixology account for like 3 months, and I'll just read it all within like 2
So
weeks.
Is this on DC Universe, or do you have to buy it on Comixology?
It's would only be on Comixology, or and maybe in store if there's copies there.
Okay.
It'd be on probably that new DC Universe by maybe like March or April next year.
I kind of want to wait so that way I can read it all at once, but
I don't know if it'll come out. I know they're releasing like it comes out like a big deluxe edition like they normally do, but I don't know when. I think it comes out. Actually, I think it comes out in about a month.
Right.
But first issue was good, and I know they announced a sequel, a one-shot sequel.
Okay.
And I think it's meant to set up the future of the DC universe.
Sounds good. Gary Gamon here with the one eye and super chat. Are you mad at me? Okay, as always, I'm not mad, but Pagey is absolutely furious.
Yeah. Do I even have to say? Like,
Ben, how do you feel about
actually,
Gary?
sorry.
Yeah,
that's the only question where the answer is yes.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Oh, very nice.
What about you, Ben? Are you mad at Gary?
Yeah, I'm always a little bit mad at Gary.
Okay.
Isn't
right. Sorry.
everyone?
I'm not mad at Gary. Yeah, not me, but everybody else could be. That would be fine. Ashbury on with the $5 super chat. Are we getting a Crisis retrospective since it's almost the 1 year anniversary? Also, did you think Oliver's death was unnecessary for the story? This is a really good question, actually, for the beginning. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but this is actually interesting. Thank you for this, for the super chat. We'll talk about the Crisis thing in a second. As far as Oliver's death being unnecessary for the story, I don't think it would have made any sense for Oliver as Green Arrow to still exist but not be involved. Like, if you look at his storyline in the Arrowverse, there was no way that he was going to continue to be in that universe and not be part of like making things right. Look at everything he's done. He's like Batman. He's not just going to walk away from saving lives and doing the right thing. So I don't think it was unnecessary. I think I always when it was announced that it was coming to an end, I knew that it was going to end with his death, like no matter what. What about you guys? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I pretty much agree with you. I think it was always going to end with his death, and yeah, I don't know what else to add. You pretty much summed it up.
Pagey, anything?
The
second part of the question.
I don't think it was unnecessary, but then you could say it's not necessary either. So it's not like it went completely against either way. So you probably could have had a lot of other characters flop into that role. But in regards to what Oliver's story was throughout the Crisis thing, I think it probably leans more towards a death making more sense than not because of where they took the character. But they could have done Crisis without Oliver dying. But I think they needed someone to die. I think they needed to show stakes there. It just matters who.
Yeah.
And I think the only other character maybe could have done is Barry, but they were never going to kill Barry off. I was actually thinking about this. I'm not even joking about like 2 hours ago, because I was thinking about the whole like season 9 thing that that Stephen Amell was talking about, and just threw me back into like last year during Crisis, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, Barry Allen didn't die! What a raw!" And I'm like, did you seriously go into Crisis thinking that Barry Allen, the main character, the most popular show on not just the universe but the entire channel, was going to be killed mid-season when we know there's going to be 13 episodes afterwards?
Yeah.
No
Hello.
Way. Yeah.
Anyone up there? Knock knock. Cuckoo. Hello.
As far as a Crisis retrospective on the 1-year anniversary, there's really not a lot to really go over looking back at it. I mean, Crisis served a purpose. I don't think the story necessarily was the most important part of what Crisis was. In the Arrowverse, like I think even Paige, you talked about this leading up to Crisis, that people think that Crisis need to be this massive like 5-movie thing, and it's really not that big in that way.
No, it's super basic. Like they could have done it in 3 or 4, but obviously they wanted to explore certain areas and like do like the cameos and do stories around certain like things around that. So when I saw people saying like, "Oh, it didn't live up to the potential," I'm like, "What potential?" I think most people that were saying that had never read Crisis on Infinite Earths. Might have said that because pretty much a lot of things called Crisis.
Yeah,
but Crisis on Infinite Earths, I'm like, hello, like once again, knock knock, anyone up there, because you obviously haven't read it. If you're expecting, they actually did more. They did much cooler stuff than you get in that normal comic.
Yeah.
The only thing is like there's like just some stuff that could have been could have been in that crossover that was either set up previously or that was available to be touched from previous things. That was the only thing they missed out on, but that can come down to scheduling or the fact that they only had 5 episodes and they chose to do other things.
Right.
Yeah. I think Crisis was really good, but compared to the other crossovers, I actually much preferred like Crisis on Earth X and
I do
things
too.
like that.
Yeah.
So I felt like in
one.
comparison to how good that was and how good some of the other ones were, I think it was a bit of a letdown, even though they did a lot, like you said. And I love the comic book Crisis on Infinite Earths. So yeah, I don't know. In comparison,
I actually think for fan service, it was great. You got a lot of like, bringing people in and stuff. It was fun. But I think if we're talking about stories, I think stuff like Crisis on Earth X was a much better Arrowverse story than Crisis on Infinite Earths was.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I'm glad they still did it. So thank you for that super chat, Ash. Any other thoughts on that or?
No, that's fine.
Okay. John Snow here at the $5 super chat. He goes, also, how hyped are you for Stargirl? Also, would last week's Mandalorian be regarded as filler? I've been hearing it has no point as an episode. So first and foremost, are either of you watching Mandalorian right now? Are you watching it currently? Are you?
Not me.
Okay.
I watched episode 1 and then I started episode 2 at like 11 o'clock at night. I fell asleep.
Okay.
I think I saw it.
Is that bad?
What did you do? What did you even do in the? Where did I fall asleep? I don't know. I can't remember. I remember clicking play. Oh,
yeah.
He got ganged by someone. Then I think.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's all I remember. And then I fell asleep and dreamed.
Mandalorian. I mean, I wouldn't say it's 100% filler. It's one of those, like, to give you guys an idea of it. It's one of those episodes where it's a lot of like side stuff, but then there's little bits and pieces that like play into the bigger story. So in a lot of ways, it is a quote unquote filler episode, but not 100% a filler episode. And also, I think when it comes to Star Wars, especially with The Mandalorian, I think they want each episode to not only be a story that goes along the back side of it, but they also want it to feel like a standalone, like Star Wars mini movie each episode. So I don't think it's always going to feel like it has to do with the main storyline. And to be very clear here, I think the main storyline for The Mandalorian is kind of super flexible this season. Like he's just looking for other Mandalorians. So I think that could lead into like a ton of different possible like episode filler, you know, like I don't know, what do they call them, like bottle episodes or whatever. I think you could see a lot of that this season. Anyway, I thought it was good. I had a good time with it. Again, I'm one of the Star Wars fans where I'm not as picky about it because I don't know every single thing about Star Wars. So when I watch it, I just want to be entertained, and if it does that, then it served its purpose for me. So but outside of that, are we hyped for Stargirl? I'm very hyped for Stargirl season 2. I'm pretty sure Pagey's super excited for it. I don't know, Ben, are you excited for the
I'm
next
really
season
excited.
of Stargirl?
Yeah, I really like season 1. I was a bit behind on it towards the end of the season, but then I caught up like right as the finale came, and I really liked it. I thought Stargirl was really good. So yeah, can't wait.
And Paige, you're I mean, you're keeping up with like all the news coming out with it. You probably know more stuff than any of us know as far as Stargirl goes.
Yeah, he's a fangirl.
Well, I was going to say I'm a Stargirl shield. That's probably the Star Shield.
Okay.
Star
Yeah,
Shield.
good one.
Star Shield.
Yeah. By the way, Gary, I see your comments. Thank you for supporting my channel. I am just joking with you. I know it doesn't always seem that way, but
He's not joking.
yeah.
He's not joking.
Sean Stackhouse, I've had him on one of my live streams before. Welcome to the show with a $5 super chat. This may be a bit off topic, but what do you think about Steven offering to come back to Arrow since we're having issues with COVID? So this story, for me, it's kind of a confusing story at the moment because these statements, this conflicting stories, like when he said it, what it actually meant. Did it happen while he was filming, when he hurt himself, after he hurt himself, before he hurt himself? What actually is going on with this? Like, do either of you know the full details of this? Because I'm so confused with this right now.
From what I can gather, he just made an offer to Greg Berlanti that if his show didn't go through, like if Heels didn't go through because of COVID, because it's a new show and they couldn't get the new shows up and running in Vancouver with COVID, that he would do Arrow season 9. But like, it's one of those loose ones where it just an empty offer, because if this was like, if he'd made, because when I originally heard it, my assumption of it was that before he'd done Heels and signed up for it, he'd offered, if like that show didn't go through, he would have done Arrow season 9. But this would have been before everything played out.
That was my impression. That's what
before
I
he
thought.
died in Crisis and everything like that.
Yeah.
But now it's more like he only, reached out to Berlanti, like I guess like a handful, several months ago, whatever it might have been, and said it all. So it wouldn't have worked. What's he meant to do? Oh, I'm alive.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, honestly.
You wouldn't do it. And also they would have like torn down the Arrow sets and everything like that. Like it would have been like starting a new show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So by the way, guys, check out Sean Stackhouse's channel. He's got a lot of reactions and stuff. Go over there and give him a look and see what you think. Andrew here. This is an interesting statement. Crisis would have been better as ending the entire Arrowverse. But that's the thing, is Crisis was never an ending. It was a way to take all of these separate characters and bring them together into a cohesive universe. So ending the Arrowverse with Crisis on Infinite Earths would have felt like it would have, I don't know, for me that wouldn't have worked. I would have been like, well, why are we ending it when we're trying to fix it? No offense, Andrew, but I completely disagree. Like it would have made no sense of it. Like the whole point was sort of like the whole point of the thing in the comics is sort of like spring cleaning, and that's what they did for the shows as well, and streamlined what they wanted to do. So definitely wouldn't have worked better. So Gary, this falls under that category that Paige talked about earlier. Do you think The Flash will take a break after the 3rd episode? And the answer to that is no. I don't think it will.
Actually, the answer is still no. Yeah, so yeah, you're correct.
There we go. Thank you for the super chat, though. Let's see. Get through these super chats so we could move on here. I think I got everyone. I think I got all of them. Did I? Was that the last one? Yes, it was. Okay. So if you guys want to send super chats, feel free to do so. But we're going to move on to our main-ish topics here. So this is from Canada Graph's Twitter. You can go over and check it out on his Twitter or his blog. I want to talk about this because it was kind of a hot topic a while back, and it is the actual Batmobile from Batwoman, and this is probably the best shot we've had of this since we got the first, like, you know what I mean, like the early shots were from a distance. This one's really good. It's up close.
The big difference here is that we can now tell that the Batmobile will have a Canada Graphs decal on the thing. So I'm interested. It's really interesting that you paid for that Canada Graphs for the show to advertise yourself. Wasn't expecting it, but I guess we'll go for it. So
I will say this: anyone who said this doesn't look good, take an L, because this actually looks really cool to me. I think this is like a really cool car.
My only thing with it, the red bat on the front, it looks a bit odd, but the thing is, it's a TV show. Like in the comics, they'd have it as well. You know what I mean?
I think it looks really good as well. I think the Canada Graphs thing looks a bit weird on it. You know, like
you should have done it in red. Do it in red. Like, why is it in blue?
If it was imprinted on it, like
it's not even blue. It's like some sort of.
Thank you for the 99-cent super chat, Gary. I appreciate it.
No, but it looks
I mean, honestly, it's you're not going to get like a movie Tumblr Batmobile. That's not what you're going to get. This is really, really good for a TV Batmobile.
But you know what's funny though? The people that were going, "Oh my god, it's a car." Guess what their profile picture is? Robert Pattinson's Batman. He's literally using a sports car as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the same.
On a movie that would have like at minimum like 4 times the budget, or like around 3 or 4 times the budget of the entire season of Batwoman. 20 episodes or so, whatever it is going to be. So,
I mean, the thing is, up until like recent times, the Batmobile was just a car with gadgets. I mean, it never was this, like, it wasn't until we got like to the Nolan era where the Batmobile started to be more than that. So, I mean, I'm fine with this. I think it looks really good for a TV show Batmobile. I think this is really solid. And, you know, if she would have been on a bike, that's the thing, is that like Kate Kane had a motorcycle her whole first season and nobody was giving her crap for that. And it was not nearly as good as this car is. So I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I think this car looks really good for the CW. It's actually a lot better than I expected. And it was a bit weird because when the first photos came out, wasn't there no like actual like Batwoman insignia on it? Like it was just plain, and they had like
I don't think we
CGI.
saw it from the front. I think we only saw it from the top and the back and the side.
No, it had the CG markers, not Canada Graph markers, but like CG like the CG dots on the side and stuff like that. So
I thought so.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means maybe she uses an actual old Batmobile and then in later episodes she makes her own
upgrade.
With the red decal and stuff. But if you look at it, it should be on Canada Graph's blog. There should be like it's like just got like the dots on it, like the CG marker dots or something like that.
Yeah.
And if I'm just going to chuck an assumption out there, I would say it's because maybe she uses like an actual Batmobile and then it transforms into this when she wants to make it her own, something like that.
Transforms as a transformer. That's what's going on.
Maybe, Ben. Maybe, Ben. See, this is what you get when it's Ben at night. He actually grows some sort of emotion. He's not talking like, hello, this is Bob. Like flat as hell. Flat as a pancake most of the time. Ben at night. Ben late. The late show with Ben.
Oh, is that what it is? The late show with Ben now?
Yeah.
Late show with Paige Mist.
It's Paige Meister.
Paige Meister.
Actually, do you want a story behind why my Twitter name is Pagey?
Yeah, before we move on to the next topic, tell us.
Okay. Also, I've got Paige's pick for this week as well, so we'll get that. Okay. I forgot to mention that to Eric, so I'll bring that to Actually, I'll keep it over there because it'll blow away or something. Okay, so here we go. The origins of the name Pagey.
You outside in the garden.
Why would it be outside in the garden?
You said it's gonna go away.
No, I've just got like this aura around me. Like, it's almost like when you're Super Saiyan. So just I don't want to affect it. Anyway, origins of the Pagmeist. Okay, so when I was in high school, my last name's Paige. Obviously, hello. Anyway, Pagey. Anyway, so one of my there's a movie. I think it's got Macaulay Culkin in it. It's called Page Master. Okay. And it's like I think it's Macaulay Culkin, and like it's just like a kids movie where open the book and crap happens. So they started calling me Page Master because it's just a simple thing. And then one of my mates, just to annoy me, would go Pagada, 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 Pagada. It sounds stupid. This is just you're in like anyway Pagada, 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 and then it turned into Pagmeist. Because it's turning Page Master and then just stop.
Wait a minute. So that would make you like the pre-Harry Potter like character because
I need to look up Page Master. I'm pretty sure it's Macaulay.
It's a 1994 film. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, it's Macaulay Culkin. Yeah,
but I'm saying it's a film about magic, right? So you were like the precursor to like.
You could say that
to Harry Potter.
Hello, J.K. Rowling. Please give me the royalties. You got enough to spare. Like seriously. What's going on?
All right, so we got a $5 story. Go ahead. I was going to say
there's the story, and also I got the story about how Ben grew the second head.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll save that one.
Weird genes. Weird genes. You can. There we go. That's the end of that story.
By the way, Haley, I saw your comment about me calling out the Alex Trebek stuff on Twitter. It was just weird to me. We'll get to the super chat in just a second. I know this is totally unrelated. But it was like I saw these channels like this, like the Watch Mojos and stuff, and those kinds of channels, like Alex Trebek's Final Days Explained and all this. And I'm like, what? It's a real person. He just passed away, and you're talking about it like it's the season finale for a TV show. Like, it was really odd. I was just like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. It was so strange to me. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like Jeopardy wasn't really a thing in Australia.
No, not here either.
Yeah, I think it might have been shown on some of those like paid TV channels, but it was never on anything. Yeah, I'll tell you what though. You know what show they play here? Ben might know it.
What?
It's that game where they have to answer questions. Obviously, it's a game show, but when they answer a question, they get a coin. They get to drop it through they press a button and it goes down to like a table of other sliding coins. I think it's called Drop or something, or Coin Drop or something.
Nah, I think that's just a Down Under thing.
No, it's literally a British show.
Really?
What's a coin?
It might be from Tasmania, though.
Coin Drop game show. Hold on.
Paige, you watch
Tipping Point.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Paige, you watch a lot of Tasmanian TV, so you might be confusing it with...
No, my nan watches it. And I saw it and I was like, oh, that's an interesting game. Why don't we have that here in Australia? I'd go on it. Anyway.
Oh, okay. So, Ashbury, I want the $5 super chat. Do you think that sending Captain Cold and Heatwave to Legends without making a full season of the Rogues on Flash was a mistake? I don't know. I mean, the thing is that Legends was kind of this weird experiment that they were trying, I think. And they started out wanting it to be like the Justice League for the DC stuff on CW. And I think they found out that if you go back and watch the first season, it really didn't work out that way. And I think they really hit their strides in like season 2 and 3.
And then what happened then?
Did they change showrunners? I'm not even sure. But anyway, I think Captain Cold and Heatwave worked in that new environment, like on season 2 and 3. I think in the end of season 1, and then of course Mick dealing with the loss of Captain Cold in the remaining seasons or whatever. I think it worked in that way. I don't necessarily know, because a lot of the Rogues didn't even come back on the Flash. So I think that's why we were promised like a second team of Rogues. It still hasn't truly materialized. We've had episodes about the Rogues, but it's never really been that. I don't know. I mean, I like both of those characters on Legends, or I did like both of them on Legends. Mick has become a little weird for me over the last couple seasons, but in the beginning, I think they were fine. Do you guys have any thoughts on this at all?
Well, they're only really together for a lot during season 1. Then someone got yeeted or self-yeeted.
Yeah.
But like Heatwave in particular is better on Legends than he was on Flash. You could chuck it up with Captain Cold because he had more to do on the Flash.
Yeah.
Than Heatwave. So I'd probably say Captain Cold is probably better on Flash. but not by a lot, not by a ridiculous amount. But I think Heatwave was clearly better on Legends than he was on Flash because he actually gets focus.
Well, that's the thing. Is his Heatwave would have never had that much attention on the Flash. No. Ever. Yeah. We'd never see that much about him.
Well, the chemistry wouldn't have worked with anyone. Like the Captain Cold chemistry worked with Barry.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Gary with 1-9 super chat. This is for Pagey. Why haven't you still doing your flashback reviews? I'm guessing that's what you're asking here.
Good translation.
Yeah. I mainly just came down to, I think my last one was like just before Fandom, or maybe like just, and that, like a lot of stuff just came out and got me out of that like mojo or swing of doing it. So it might come back, but it depends.
We're coming into the time period now where new stuff is going to be coming out. So it's
it just depends. Yeah, really like maybe one or two more, but I wouldn't expect any more than one or two.
Yeah. Scott here with the $5 super chat. Would y'all like to see Kara and one last crossover with the other heroes? I really hope we get one, maybe a big crossover for the final season. So I've talked about this a little bit, but Ben, I'm curious about your opinion on this. What do you think about this since we're getting that this final season for Supergirl?
Well, I think it would be great, but I mean, it all depends on scheduling, I guess, because it's all down to, when Melissa's in Vancouver. Obviously, she's going up in January, but we don't know if is she going to be there from January straight to August, or are they going to take a break? I mean,
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question.
We'll have to wait and see. But I would like to see her, obviously, in the last crossover. Apparently, the Batwoman and Superman Lois one's still going on, but I haven't heard that much about it, unless you guys have heard more. I reckon she would be in it if there is a crossover, and I know it's a bit harder to cross crews over, but if it's like only a few people like Barry, Kara, and whatever, like I guess they could do it.
Well, I think Candagraphs was saying that each actor has their own little pod of people they're working with. So
yeah, I
guess if she was going to do something on that show, they would just move that pod over to that show for whatever period of time that they're in, I guess. I'm hoping we see a crossover of some type because I truly believe the show deserves that. But I also think Melissa, I don't think she would be completely against coming back to do like a one-off episode, but I think it'll be a while before that happens. So maybe Supergirl may come back in 2 seasons and join them for something. But I think for the time being, she's really she wants to really give it a good send-off. And I think seeing Barry with her and maybe Superman might be the most we get out of it, but I'd love to see that or whatever. Any thoughts on this, Pagey?
Yeah, I think we've answered it before. I think we've answered the question before.
Yeah, we talked about it before, not with Ben here. That's why I didn't know if there's something in there.
Yeah, Pagey's not qualified. Talk about Saga.
I'd like Ben. Shut your mouth.
Laura, we're going to be talking about that, so just hold that thought. We're going to be talking about that tonight.
I think I'm at this stage. I'd assume that the Batwoman, Superman, and Lois crossover is still happening, but I think we all thought that it wouldn't happen until the back half anyway. They'd get through especially because Superman and Lois has to do their pilot, and based off certain things have been said, they are doing a 4-week shoot for the pilot, like they normally would have. So
it's crazy.
Well, they said they're halfway through. The director of it, because it's a pilot episode, they just spend longer on the pilot. Like a pilot shoot's normally like 3 to 4 weeks anyway. So I wasn't sure if they're going to change it because of everything going on, but they're doing the exact same time frame for it. So by the time they finish, Batwoman will be on like maybe episode 6 or something. Then again, Batwoman has like 6 more episodes than Superman and Lois at this stage. So who knows when it's going to happen, might I say.
Staggerforth, the 499 super chat. Do you think this year's crossover might include most, if not all, of the Arrowverse lead characters, even within just 2 shows? So if you mean this year, you mean like as in the beginning of the year, like the end of 2020's season of shows or whatever? I think it's been confirmed that we're not getting a big crossover for the first part of this year. I think for sure, based on the way things are going now with like treatments and stuff like that, that we will definitely get something in, I guess, next year's shows, even though it's all in the same year. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I don't think in these first, like the seasons we're getting next for all these shows, I think we would be very grateful just to get like a 1-show crossover. I think getting a multi-show crossover is probably not something we're going to see. I don't even think Legends is going to do anything with anybody else. Legends will probably be completely disconnected, especially since they're doing space stuff. So it doesn't really surprise me. As far as the other shows, they say they're still going to do the Batwoman and Superman and Lois one. I don't know. And if Supergirl crosses over with anybody, I think I would put my bets on just the Flash and Superman. So any news on this, you guys? Have you heard anything about this? Any big crossovers? As far as I know, we shouldn't expect anything.
I've heard, this is the inside scoop. So this is how you know I'm talking shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Gary's in it.
Okay. All right. There we go.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to give you any finer details where in the specific crossover is showing up. But Gary's in it. I won't tell you which Gary either. You can just guess away.
All
guess away with your little brain.
So I guess we're come to the time now where it is time for it is the 35-minute mark. So I guess we should do Pagey's pick. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I didn't tell you. Okay, so this is a very good one.
All right.
My compatriot or my fellow patriots in the chat will be happy. This is top 10 Aussie bangers. Pagey's pick. Okay, and there is some honorable mentions, but I'll mention them at the end. This is sort of in order, but not really. Like I wouldn't say this is the definitive 10-1 or top 10 in order, but I'd say the number 1 and number 2 are definitely top 2. And it just fills in from the rest. But I'll mention the honorable mentions a bit later. Okay, so, and this isn't like, I'm not mentioning any obvious ones. So there's no like Kylie Minogue, no AC/DC.
Okay.
Like any of
nothing predictably Australian, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, nothing like that most international people would associate with as Australian music. Okay. So this is all pretty much, you sort of have to be Australian to know these songs. However, they are top 10 bangers. If you listen to these songs, you'll be like, wow.
What did you say, Ben?
I said, so no one knows it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I know them. That's why I'm a genius. And that's why everyone listening will soon be much higher in IQ and musical taste.
Okay.
Okay. Get your pens and papers out, people, because here we go.
All right.
Okay. We got at number 10, we have Wish You Well by Bernard Fanning. Don't know if anyone knows that. It might have gone into, maybe it went to like the UK. Ben was probably like 2 years old when it came out, so sort of pointless even asking if he knows it. Number 9, Hard Act to Follow by Grinspoon. See, no one knows these songs.
Is there any Silverchair in here?
I was going to include Silverchair, but I was like, are they too internationally well known?
Okay,
I was going to put Freak by Silverchair or what's the other song? Watching The Greatest View. I just had to sing the song in my head just to see if I could. Oh, there's Tomorrow.
Canadagraph says you're just making songs up. That's
yeah, no one's heard of these.
Okay, number 8, Lift by Shannon Knoll, former runner-up of Australian Idol season 1. He has some other songs, but I'd say Lift is probably. I'd say it's his best one. The video clip is him boxing. Number 7, Fig Jam by the Butterfingers. If you want to know, Fig Jam is an abbreviation. Can you guess what it means?
Yeah, I know what it means. Yeah.
Do you know what it means, Ben?
Yes, but I'm not saying it.
It would get the stream demonetized, most likely, if I said it. Do you know what it means, Ben?
No, I don't.
Just look it up.
Say it.
I won't swear, but it says, F, I'm good, just ask me. That's what Fig Jam means. So you can look at that song, Fig Jam by Butterfingers. We have Amazing by Alex Lloyd. Oh, that's a cracker. It's used in quite a lot of Australian ads.
All right.
This is a throwback to the Sydney 2000 Olympics.
Okay.
I don't know if she played it there. I think she might have, but I'm not too sure. Absolutely Everybody by Vanessa Amorosi. I think she played at the Olympics or maybe the closing ceremony. It came out around the Olympics because I'm pretty sure they used it as like a hype song.
Maybe.
Yeah, Tom, it's because you're 12 years old. Like all these songs, like no good music, regardless of where you are in the world, has come out past like 2005, 2010. So
I agree.
This is why all these are pretty much old. Number 4, The Horses by Daryl Braithwaite. Cracker.
Okay.
Absolute cracker.
All right.
Number 3, this is for all the The hard yakkers out there, if you want to call it. We have Working Class Man by Jimmy Barnes. You might know who Jimmy Barnes is. You might have heard of him. Anyway, good song. Have you ever heard of Cold Chisel?
No.
Okay, he's like the leading man of that. I thought Cold Chisel might be somewhat well known. Okay, number 2. Here we go. So we'll go number 2, then we'll get into the honorable mentions.
All right.
Okay, so number 2, we have Scar by Missy Higgins. It almost came 1. I actually asked my mate, I was like, which one's better, Scar or not? What's number 1 going to be? And he said, probably the number 1 because it goes off more. It'd be played in the car and you definitely sing it along. So number 2, Scar by Missy Higgins. Yeah, okay. Definitely Google that or YouTube it. All these YouTubeable. Is that a word?
Are these Australian or Tasmanian songs?
These are Australian. I think any of these people are from Tasmania because they didn't have like 4 fingers. I think they all have 5 fingers. So I think they're all sweet. Okay, here we go. The honorable mentions. We have Run to Paradise by the Choir Boys. Oh, cracker. We have K-San by Cold Chisel. Whoa, goes off. Pretty much all these songs, by the way, if you went to anyone that's sort of over the age of 20 and played them, most would be able to sing the lyrics to these. By the way, this entire list for the most part.
Okay.
Another honorable mention, we got Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again by the Angels. That's a good song. They have another good song called No Secrets, which was used in a Bonds underwear ad with a very good looking model. Can't remember who it was. Anyway, next up, What's My Scene by the Hoodoo Gurus. Oh, wonderful. And the last honorable mention, it gets a bit interesting here because I only put it here because it's only good if it's played at a rugby match. So if you go to a Wallabies rugby match, which is the national team, the Australian national team for rugby, and you're in the crowd, usually this guy, I don't know, can't remember the last time he did it, but he used to come out with his guitar and everyone would go off when he did it. It's John Williamson's Waltzing Matilda. So
I've actually heard of that before. That one I've
Waltzing
heard of.
Matilda is like what people want the national anthem to be in Australia because that one sucks.
Oh, that's probably where I heard it from. Yeah.
It sucks balls. Let's be completely honest. And we have to verse New Zealand all the time, and they have a really good national anthem. Our one sucks. So Waltzing Matilda is what a lot of people want the national anthem to be. So that goes off when you're at a rugby match. Anyway, number 1, top Aussie banger. This is the definitive number 1. No one, anyone guess in the chat? No, because you're all hopeless. Number 1, Forever by the Veronicas. Whoa. If you want,
the Veronicas are super international. Like I know they are.
No, it doesn't matter because it goes off. It's number 1 in any list. In any list, Eric, right. It goes off. Whether it's the most well-known Australian bands or the least known, it is number 1. Come on, baby, we are going to live forever.
That is Pagey's pick for the week. So,
and I did have actually, you know what? Bonus, because I can't be bothered saving it for next week. We got the bonus. Top 5 Christmas films. Pagey's pick. Some of these are obvious, but one you might be like, "Whoa, you left it off," and I'll explain why. Number 5, Love Actually. Watched it the other day. Very good film.
You just like
number
English
4. What? I didn't even understand what you said. It was all gibberish.
I said you just like.
Okay. Yeah, you're not even making it. You're not even speaking English in your English anyway. So yeah, number 4, Elf. Will Ferrell. What a cracker. Number 3, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You're a loser.
Up with Chevy Chase. Number 2.
This is killing Ben, by the way, this list.
Number 2, Gremlins.
Right.
How good. Love that movie. And then number 1, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So you might be like, hold on, where's Home Alone 1? And my choice, my theory or discussion around that was I didn't want to put 2 Home Alones in there. And I had to think, which one's the better one?
You had to pick the one that was better. Okay.
And I think Home Alone 2 is better. I think Home Alone 2 is more rewatchable than Home Alone 1.
All right.
So, but honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, do I like Gremlins more than Home Alone 2? I do love Gremlins.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to have a think about that.
Let's move on from Pagey's pick part 2. And I saw a question earlier. Let me scroll back up here. I think it was someone was asking about the light on my desk. think it was Zoko, maybe. I got it from Amazon. You can go on Amazon and get it. It's just a flashlight. Get it? Flashlight. No,
I don't get it.
So
Can you explain that more? I don't get it.
yeah.
Wait, the lava lamp's gone.
No, it's right here. You just can't see
Don't
it.
bring it out. I'm afraid of it. I'm scared of it.
Gary Gamon with a 499 super chat. How many breaks do you think Batwoman will have when does the trailer come out? That's a lot of questions there, Gary. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of breaks. Maybe one for basketball. That's probably the only one. Trailers, we have no idea. Probably before the end of this month we'll see something, but I don't know if they'll even be full trailers. They might just be teasers. And do you think the Flash season 8 will air in fall 2021? Yes. So that wasn't a no answer. That was actually a yes answer.
So do you really think we're going to get like trailers or promos by the end of this month?
We'll get something. I don't know if we'll get full-fledged like trailers.
I think Batwoman will have a trailer by either end of this month or really early December, but I don't know about the other shows.
Yeah,
I think
because
it might
the
be
other
waiting
shows are delayed.
Yeah, but they're not delayed by heaps. They're only like a month after Batwoman. So like maybe Black
That's
Lightning
why I was
could get it
thinking December.
Potato Man Productions became a member for Team Eric. Thank you so much for the support. And make sure you check out the exclusive content and reactions and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for that. So speaking of that, we should probably go ahead and take a quick break to do the shout outs for Team Eric members. It's been updated for this week, but if you have joined like after like Monday morning, then you're probably not going to be on the list. So Potato Man Productions, unfortunately, will not be on this list, but everyone else will be up here. We're going to do that, and then we'll be right back. So we will see you guys in just a moment. I kept like bringing everybody up and taking everybody down. That was kind of fun. You guys didn't see it behind the scenes there. It's hilarious. We've got new pictures up here apparently. Paige Meister there, looking good. Looking good. Thank you guys so much for the support. That was for all of you. I really do appreciate it. With that being said, let us talk about the next thing, which is surprise, surprise, another Canada Graphs exclusive, I guess, here on Twitter. But you can check it out on his blog as well. I wanted to use this picture because we can see quite a bit of the costume here without the cape. I'll talk about the cape here in a moment, but I want to talk a little bit about Superman and Lois and the new Superman suit that we see here. I think both of you guys have done videos about this already, correct? You've talked about it already?
Correct.
Okay. I know Paige has. I wasn't sure if you had done one, Ben, but I thought I had seen one from you. What are your, just in a nutshell, what are your thoughts on what we see here with this costume? Do you think it's better, worse than the other costume? Thoughts?
It's clearly better in multiple aspects. The material on the suit, the crest looks better, the belt looks much better, the boots look better, the cape is obviously much better because it actually tucks in. It's just better on everything. Like I don't think it doesn't go so far over his shoulders as well. Like it seemed like the collar space is around his neck is smaller.
Yeah, I think there's a shot here where you can see the cape right there where it's hanging.
Yeah, like the capes are different. It's not like that really, really red leather. It almost looks like it's cloth. As if they went to a cloth cape because it looks like the light's coming through it. It looks better on everything, I think.
So are you thinking that this is similar to, is this the same company that did the Brandon Routh suit, you think, or no? I
don't think it's been confirmed yet.
Because like it gives me that vibe, you know, the way the padding in the arms.
Well, it isn't. They could have had the same company that did Batwomans do it as well, and that she didn't get hers done by. I think it was a Los Angeles company that did hers. And I think Ironhead's in LA, but I know pretty sure that the Batwoman one wasn't Ironhead, so it wouldn't surprise me too much if this Superman one was from the Batwoman one as well, whatever it was. But yeah, so I'm excited for when they release the full photo of it because they've been releasing on for Superman and Lois on social media is just retweeting Bitsy Tulloch's post, and that's about it.
Yeah, the one about wearing more purple or something. I'm like, why is that?
Well, like everything. Like she even released like Daily Planet photos and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's so much behind the scenes for the show. Like, I feel like that's what we're getting like every single day. But the first thing that, when I saw these images, the first thing that caught my eye was the cape. I think the cape looks really cool. Like like you said, it's like, it kind of looks like cloth or something. It looks really like actual cape, like it has weight to it and it can, flow around. I don't know. It looks really cool. I like the red.
And also it's not touching the ground.
Yeah. True.
Like the other ones used to.
I actually love the boots too, because you can see in this photo the boots are much better than the ones on the previous costume. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. By the way, guys, Canada Graphs is in the chat here. Head over to his Twitter. These photos are all on his Twitter for you guys to retweet, like, share, whatever on your Twitters. And you can also go to his blog. He's got so many more photos on his blog. So make sure you guys head over there.
You can subscribe to his Patreon for the exclusive twerking video.
Twerk video. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you see that you were featured on this cringe thing on Twitter?
Yeah, it makes it clear how dumb they are.
What happened? Wait a minute. Tell me about this. What are we talking about here?
I replied. So Canada Guys put out his. I think it was just the blog thing or the Patreon.
It was about the Patreon.
And I went, does this include the twerking video? Do you save it for your personal collection? And that comic book movie Cringe, which is not the real one. Like the other one got deleted, and I think this group just took it over. But they're all Snyder cultists as well, which is double down on the. Well, you know what? But they posted my reply saying the Arabic stands are horny. And I was like, hopefully you get that it's a joke. Otherwise, yikes.
Wow, you're real horny for can of grass.
Well, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Wouldn't mind the twerking video. So, and as I said, it exists. It's like the Snyder Cut. Or the quote unquote Snyder Cut, which didn't exist but now exists because of additional reshoots. But anyway, this actually exists, unlike that. So, Canada Graphs, release the twerking video. Release the twerking Superman. Hashtag it. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Do it by Twitter.
This is like the third person that's asked about this in the live stream, and I was kind of debating if we were going to even talk about it, but it seems like people are kind of curious about our thoughts on this. UNE Music. So speaking about Superman and Lois, did you hear about that firing of the writer from Superman and Lois? And yes, I did. And let's see, I can actually pull up the Twitter here for us to read it in case you guys haven't heard from this yet. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it is kind of pretty cut and dry with what happened here. So this is from Nadria Tucker. I didn't know much about her. Honestly, when it comes to writers, there's so many people involved with the shows, unless it's someone that's like that I know has done episodes before.
You only really ever know who a writer is when like there's a showrunner on Twitter and they retweet them. That's usually the only time you ever know of a writer.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Or the show is like 5 or 6 seasons old.
So before we read her 3 tweets here, you can see over here on the side, it's got the little box with her info in it, and it says writer SJW chaotician. I've never seen that word before. Chosen one, 4-eyed raven, first chair flute, she, her, pronounced like Adrian with the end of the front. So Adrian. So it's Nadria. Okay. There's no N on it. Okay, just making sure I got it right. Nadria Tucker. So this was her tweets, and let's just get into this. Some personal news. Wednesday, I got word that my contract on Superman and Lois won't be extended. My service is no longer needed. My outline and draft subpar. Obviously, I disagree with that last bit. LOL. This after months of me flagging Me Too jokes on dialogue, of me defending the Bechdel test, of me fighting to ensure the only black faces on screen aren't villains, of me pitching stories for female characters. There's one in the title of the series that when ignored, if I sound bitter, it's because this one stings. I've been assured by colleagues that I was great in the room, so I know I'm not nuts. I debated whether to post this on my own. Mental well-being demands that I do. The only way shit changes is to expose it /end. So that was her statement there. And I don't really know, like I'm not totally my foot's not in either camp with this, because at the beginning of this, it sounds like she's saying that the reason why they let her go was because her writing wasn't, I don't want to insult her, but wasn't good enough, I guess, for what they wanted for the show. They're saying her outline and her draft were subpar, and she disagrees with it because it's hers. I mean, you're not going to put something out and automatically go, oh, you say it's shit, then I guess it's horrible. You know, like, you're not going to do that. You're going to support that. And as far as her colleagues telling her how great she is, that is being supportive friends. That's how friends are going to be. So, I mean, I feel like,
well,
what do you got to say? You go ahead.
I was going to say, I think they're just colleagues. I think if it was their friend, I'd say, no, it was shit. Like, you got fired because you're shit. Like, my mates would tell me if you did a shit job or not. So obviously, just like, they are literally just colleagues. So in that, because they would, you're not going to like,
but still, I don't think they would be insulting. I don't think the other people that write with her would go out of their way to say you're writing.
They would never say anything overly negative, especially if someone just got let go.
Right.
You know, you're not going to say, oh, you deserved it. Like, they're not going to go like that. It's like, oh, thank God you're in the writer's room. Thank God you're fired. Like, they're not going to say that, are they? So the thing around this is that I always find it suspect when people go straight to Twitter, because when this was tweeted out, it was the 6th. So what was that? That was on Friday. Yeah. Is that a Friday? A Friday. So what? 2 days after. I find it suspect. Like, you'd go, when you just say that you thought you're like wrongfully dismissed, but then I guess I don't know what the creative something's creative. Can they just say you're bad and like you really can't appeal that? Like, I don't know necessarily how it works in a writer's room in regards to being let go. If she was fired because it was just because they didn't like her stuff, and it doesn't mean that she's a bad writer. I think people say like, being like, oh well, she wouldn't have a job if she was. And
that's kind of the way I was approaching this. I didn't want to say her writing wasn't good, but it wasn't what they wanted for the show.
Yeah, because the thing is, you could be amazing at writing crime thrillers. You could be awesome writing on a show like NCIS, on Law and Order, CSI. You could be amazing, like the best writer possible at writing in that genre and that style of show, or even just like a procedural and stuff like that. You're writing that particular style of show, or whether it be genre. But then you could go and write on Desperate Housewives, and you'd be the worst writer in the room.
Yeah.
That can happen. The only thing that sort of lines up with her, with it being a bit weird that she wouldn't fit the genre, is that she worked on Krypton. I don't know for how long. I think it was just for season 2, I think, from memory. But that's pretty much her only writing room gig, is working on Krypton. But guess what? That was a Superman show as well, or a Superman family show, whatever you want to call it. So the whole thing about writing and it's very subjective. Like, that's the whole point. It's not like a straight up just, oh, you know, it's like black and white. There's a big gray area. I would lean towards saying that she would have a good feel as to what happened in the writing room. And like, she would have got a good, I guess, or just, a feel of if she was presenting an idea and whether it was actually listened to, or they go, oh yeah, good idea. Okay, let's move on here and focus 5 minutes on this other person's thing. And we'll just spend 10 seconds thinking about what you said and we'll just move on. So if she was fired for pretty much everything that's mostly in the second tweet, then that's a big issue.
Yeah.
If she was just fired because she didn't fit the show, I don't want to say fired, but like, just they didn't renew her contract, which I guess is the same thing, but whatever. If she was let go because they just didn't think she fit the show and maybe was pushing stuff that they just didn't want to put in the show at all, then I think that's fine.
Right.
But if it was for that second part, then there's an issue there. But if it was that second part, wouldn't you approach the studio?
Yes, absolutely.
And use your colleagues as like, well, this is why I don't think this is right that I was fired just because I was doing this. Like, if you don't want in the show, then I can make up my own mind whether I want to stay or go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think it's really definitive which way it was. The only thing is that we only have one side, which is Nadria saying it. So who knows?
Anything you want to add to that, Ben? Because I have my opinions on it.
Well, I pretty much agree. I'm kind of mixed on it, because if she was let go because of her not being a good writer, or like, not being up to what they wanted, I mean, that's totally reasonable. But then if it's what she says in the second tweet, I agree that is very problematic. And obviously that could be, when I first read this, the idea, the first name that popped into my mind, like, if this was true, the second tweet, was like, to do with Todd Helbing. Like, is he the one that's like, or whoever's the head person running the writers' room? I mean, it would be down to them if that was, the second tweet was actually a real thing, and there was problems that people were blocking her stories, and they were trying to, override everything basically. So I'm a bit mixed. I believe her, but at the same time, if it's just in terms of her draft being subpar, then it's fine. But
okay, so I'm going to give my take on this, and then we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because I don't want to turn this into because we don't know the whole situation. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So first, I want to address the social media thing. I think the reason why we see a lot of this on social media now is because marginalized groups don't always get proper attention from their superiors. So I think social media is a way for them to bring things out that you wouldn't normally see, in a workplace. So yes, they do make me think sometimes why didn't you do this, this, and this, and this? But then I also have to remember that they may have done that and we just don't know. So I don't know for sure. So that does raise a little bit of, raises a red flag for me, but not 100% because I don't really know what happened. And that's the problem with bringing it to social media is you don't really know. I will say this. The reason why I sort of raise up an eyebrow to this one is I find it personally very difficult to believe that a network that has done so much in terms of being inclusive and tried so hard to be, to try and lift up as many voices as possible as a network. I'm not talking about specific showrunners, writers, producers, directors. I find it really, really tough to believe that, number one, a show that is a spinoff from Supergirl, which is a extremely progressive series in terms of characters and stories, that there were jokes about Me Too being used on the show. I'm sorry. I don't like to call people liars. I really don't, but I find it hard to believe that Superman and Lois were actively including multiple jokes about Me Too in bad context in their scripts. I just don't believe that. Not being a spinoff from Supergirl. I just can't.
And also Lois is in the title. That is a big thing, I think.
It's also important to remember, she could have been trying to push a storyline that just did not fit with either a certain character or just in the area that show was currently in. It could have worked in season 2, but where the story was in season 1, it would have felt like a big detour for either a character, a group of characters, or just the show as a whole to go down that route.
Yeah. The second part of this is as far as the Bechdel test, and I probably should have looked this up beforehand. Ben probably knows this more than I do, but isn't that the test that they use to see how much it's either women in screen that have lines and how much screen time they have and things like that? That's what the Bechdel test is, correct?
Correct. It's a measure of representation of women in film. Yeah.
So can we try and wrap our head around the fact that a show that is the first Arrowverse show to share a title with the main characters being a guy and a girl or a man and a woman, that you would have to do that in that situation because the CW has done nothing but promoted Betsy Tulloch on their social media. So for me, it's I'm supposed to take this word or her word over literally seeing them promoting the show on the back of Lois Lane.
Which got so many people angry because they were like, why is it not just Superman?
So that's another thing. As far as fighting to ensure that the only black faces on screen aren't villains, fair enough. I mean, the thing is, nothing she's saying here is wrong. I think all of these are very great qualities. My issue with it is, if you're saying that you were let go from the show because these were things that you were trying to champion in your writing, on a network that literally has a trans woman superhero and has a black Batwoman, I just don't know. And then she goes, of me pitching stories for female characters, there's one in the title of the series that went ignored. She's literally sharing the billing with the main character. I just don't know how much of this I can truly go, you know what? I believe that all of this had to do with it, instead of just going with the obvious, which is that her writing just didn't mesh well with the rest of the show. Like, am I supposed to believe that a network that gets called SJW and woke and too progressive by so many people all of a sudden now is misogynistic and racist and all these other horrible things? Am I supposed to just assume that this is really what happened? I mean, I hate to call people liars because I really don't like doing that, especially with such little information. I just find it hard to believe that all of that was going on and that is the reason she was let go. It's very difficult for me to, I don't know. Am I wrong for that? I mean, does that feel
you
weird
bring up
for you
a
guys?
really good point. No, it's a really good point because like the network is so criticized by some of their fans. Well, I don't know if you can call them fans,
Yeah.
but especially like Supergirl, because it's a female character who is the lead of the show. Same with Batwoman. I think they get heavily criticized more than Arrow and the Flash by people, and so considering all that they do and all that they try and put out there, remember the big announcement when like Neo was coming to Supergirl, or when Javicia was cast as Batwoman. They make such big deals out of this, so I don't see how behind the scenes they can be so kind of naive to their kind of bigger picture of representation in their Arrowverse.
And I also want to put this out there, and this is kind of where I'm going to leave it. Wait, you want to say something, Pagey?
Well, it's not even that. Like there was, I think even in the writers' rooms and stuff, they made a bigger effort to make the writers' room more diverse. After I think it was the Arrow writers' room. It was like a picture, and I think even the Flash writers' room at that stage was roughly the same, and probably the Supergirl one as well. There was photos came out, and I think with the Arrow writers' room of like 20 to like roughly around 20 people, there was one black person.
Yeah, I remember
that.
White. Yeah, I do remember that.
But the controversy around that at the time was when they were going to write a Black Lives Matter episode. That quickly didn't happen. But
yeah, because why would you?
Then, like
that would be the worst take ever if they did that.
Yeah, but there's been more inclusivity with maybe not every single writer's room, but I know with a good amount of them. So
yeah,
it'd be weird for them to do that and then go, oh, well, you're trying to be inclusive in your writing and your pictures. Well, can't have
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like, how does a show that is a portion of Supergirl, like a spinoff from Supergirl, start out being misogynistic and racist and anti-diversity? It just, none of that makes any sense to me. None of that. So anyway, that's all I really have to say about it. Well, actually, I want to leave with this one thought is, when you work with people and you have someone that you're working with that just does not get along with anyone, and there's no real reason why they shouldn't be there, they just don't really get along with other people they work with. I think that happens more times than not. And so we see that reflected at sometimes when people feel like they're let go for the wrong reasons. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe we'll hear more to the story. I know that Ray Fisher reached out to her, I think, on his Twitter. So we'll see if anything else happens with that. But anyway, we got a super chat here from Staggervore. 199 super chat. Are all the DC Universe contents moving to HBO Max? I don't think all of them are, right? The CW shows, not all of them are going to be on HBO Max, just the ones that have been created recently, correct?
That's a DC Universe.
No, like Stargirl is also going to be on there, right?
Well, I think they're saying like it's Titans and Doom Patrol.
Oh.
So they they mean
the DC Universe app. I thought they meant everything in the DC Universe. No,
but,
I think like after the season, right? What they used to do in Netflix.
So Batwoman, since the start of Batwoman, anything that is WBTV made goes to HBO Max as their streaming home. There's no more Netflix deal.
Yeah.
But then like there's a weird thing where like there is like those CBS shows. I don't know what happens with them necessarily. Like Nancy Drew and stuff. I'm not too sure if they went. They didn't go. I know like that.
Yeah.
Well, it got cancelled, but that what was that Riverdale spinoff? The Katie Kane.
That only got one season, right? It was one season.
It got canceled.
I literally was gonna watch that, and then I like the next day I heard it was canceled. I was like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna watch it then. So, all right, so let's move on. I think that's all the super chats there before we reach the next topic. So the next topic is also highly controversial. It is a combo topic. I don't even really know what we should call it, but I'm sure Ben has been keeping up with this because he is the movie person. So, wait, before we get into this, because I don't want to. Are the rest of the shows getting delayed after February? No, they're not. The answer
As I
is
said
no.
at the top of the stream, Gary, all the answers will most likely be no. And that falls
Thank you
into
for the
that
super
category.
chat, but the answer is no. But I wanted to get that out of the way before we move on because I know that Gary gets a little impatient. So we're going to be talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard here because I feel like one foot of that is in our normal stuff and the other really isn't, but it kind of is. So Johnny Depp, and let me read what happened here because I've got like the whole thing in front of me, but most recently, where was it at? The litigation or the case that was going on with Johnny Depp and the Sun, was that the name of it? The Sun was the paper.
The Sun is UK paper.
Yeah. So the Sun basically called him a wife beater, and so they went on to. He went to court to try and get them to have to take that down and basically denounce it and everything. And a lot of stuff has come out since this all happened. Like earlier this year, the recordings with Amber Heard and basically her admitting to doing things. And in the beginning, when they first separated, apparently it was a mutual separation and they both still cared about each other. And that all kind of went to crap and they started fighting again with each other and all this other stuff. Ultimately, now, because of what happened with the Sun, Warner Brothers has decided that it's okay to continue to put out J.K. Rowling's content, even though she's very problematic when it comes to trans issues, especially trans women. It's okay to continue to put out her content, but we can no longer work with Johnny Depp. But we're also going to continue to work with Amber Heard, who is currently filming for the Justice League, the Zack Snyder Justice League. It's okay for us to continuously deal with the stuff with Ray Fisher, who's also filming for Justice League. It's okay for us to fire Hartley Sawyer and do all these other things, but we can't work with Johnny Depp.
What about Ezra Miller as well?
Yeah, and continue to work with Ezra Miller. So all these other things seem to be okay to Warner Brothers, but the one issue they couldn't deal with is Johnny Depp. It seems so weird to me because I'm not going to say they can't do that, but Amber was a participant in all of this drama and she's admitted to it.
I can pretty much sum it up.
Go ahead.
I can pretty much sum it up easily. The issue is that I don't think anything would have happened, but Johnny Depp I'd honestly say it was a really not well-advised move to take it to court because if he lost, he was always going to get fired.
Yeah.
And Amber Heard was never going to get fired because then she would be, in the only case that has had a legal outcome, she would be seen as the victim of abuse, of a domestic abuse by her husband at the time. If Warner Brothers was to fire her now, it would look so bad on them.
Right.
Because the only thing that's had a legal outcome, she didn't win it, the Sun won it, but Johnny Depp's been seen as the abuser, that he lost the case because that whole piece from them was about him abusing her and everything like that, the whole domestic abuse thing. And the judge even said, from everything we can see in our final case is that Johnny Depp is guilty of all of this. Now, whether we went to actual court and it was just between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, whatever the outcome would be, that's completely separate from this. So Warner Brothers has to base off this. Do they keep legally announced or denounced woman basher or domestic abuser?
Yeah, but my point is they're still making a movie from somebody who has actively been transphobic on Twitter.
Yeah, I know, but
it's such a weird thing. It doesn't make any sense. There's so many other things happening. I feel like they've wanted to get rid of him since this was announced, and this was their out for that.
Yeah, you could argue that, but I think with the J.K. Rowling thing, it's important to remember she's not on screen. She's not going.
No, but she's super problematic though. Like she's
very problematic.
Really do not like her. Like actively do not like her. You know what I mean? I would say that she's even more disliked than this drama that's going on right now with the two of them. Like,
well, I personally think anyway that it might be. Well, it's not good because I guess Johnny Depp lost a role, so not good for him. But the whole thing is that the Fantastic Beasts franchise is shite.
Yeah, it is.
The first movie was decent. The second one was. I fell asleep.
The second one made half the money that the first one did.
It was so bad, the second one. I don't even know how they managed it. Whatever they would want to do the third one, who knows what they're going to do. I think they're going to like Brazil or something. I don't know. That is it Festival or Carnival? I don't know. That'd be interesting. Carnival with magic. I don't know. But that they need to just get through this franchise. Chuck the third. They'll probably chuck it on HBO Max. Just get rid of it, the third one, and start with some other Harry Potter thing. It's too big of a franchise not to do it. Don't have J.K. Rowling involved. She doesn't write the movies. Obviously, looking at the second one, probably not a bad idea to not have her write a film. Right. So, or any more films, might I say. And they do their own thing. Do some other Harry Potter thing. Take us back to Hogwarts. Show us Voldemort when he was growing up or something like that. Make it through his point of view. Or have
I think there's so many other better stories you could tell anyway.
I don't know why they chose. I thought when they did Fantastic Beasts, it was a one-off. I didn't realize it was a trilogy. Because as soon as they said it was a trilogy, I was like, how are you going to make 3 movies of things about just weird little animals in the wizarding world?
Yeah.
But obviously they changed it. They wanted to actually, I think they realized once they got to that second movie, okay, we're going to do sort of take away from that base thing anyway and go into like the more what we do with Harry Potter, but didn't do it as well.
Apparently Mads Mikkelsen is like up for the role now. Is that true? Is that real?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much that they would go for.
So I'm just going to say, like, legally, I understand why they're in a bind. I totally get it. But I just don't understand how they can basically ignore all the other stuff that's going on in their world and just focus on this one thing. There's so many other issues with Warner Brothers right now that are problematic. This, honestly, was the one thing where they probably didn't have to push the pedal on it. There's other things that I think are that they have been chastised for. They have not addressed it. They've not talked about it. They've not made statements about it. It's just really, really weird to me. And Amber Heard, like someone said, that she was caught on tape admitting to stuff. That's why this whole ruling seems so weird to me. Yeah. Like, I'm totally blown away by all of this. And I'm not even a huge Johnny Depp fan. It's not like I'm like Johnny Depp isn't somewhere where if I see his name on a movie, I'm automatically going to see that movie because Johnny Depp's in it, right? Like I'm not like a huge fan, but I will say that in this situation, it seems like from all accounts, they were equally involved in basically being crap to each other. I mean, maybe one did a little bit more than the other, but there's definitely proof that both sides participated in this.
Yeah.
And if you go through, there's a timeline. It's over on insider.com. There's a timeline that tells like how everything went down all the way back to like 2009 and stuff. And it shows that the stories have changed. Both of their stories have changed since 2009. So it's not even clear exactly what happened other than the statements they've made as of recently. So it's just really, really, really weird to me that I don't know. Ben, what do you think about all this? You're the movie person. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you think they should have gotten rid of Amber as well? Or do you think their hands are tied?
I think, yeah. So I think, well, number one, I like the Fantastic Beasts films, so I disagree.
Oh, Pagey, there you go.
Sorry. But and just in regards to J.K. Rowling, she's actually not writing the third one that they're filming right now. It's back to the original screenwriter of all the other Harry Potter films. So that's just one thing to note. So it's going to be a bit different. It's not going to be J.K. writing it. J.K. writing it. Anyway. So in regards to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I think, yeah, it's a bit weird that one gets fired but the other doesn't. But at the same time, I feel like, well, the way I interpret it is Johnny was in court and, you know, he had his court date and pretty much he was, you know, he got the worst possible outcome for him.
Right.
It looks terrible on him. Yeah. Right. So, of course, they're going to want to let go of him. And Amber, yes, she probably did this. I think both sides did it for sure. But to be honest, Johnny, to me, sounds worse. And, you know, the fact that he lost this court date and everything.
And when Paige said that's what made me think about, like, if she would have also had a court case, what would that have meant for her? It would have been a different situation.
She would have stepped down, I think, as well. If she would have been asked to step down if she had a court date and she lost it like this. So I think it's all down to just circumstance. However, in regards to Warner Brothers, and I think they're very, very all over the place with their kind of policies. firing Hartley Sawyer straight away, but then hiring someone who got literally fired from Marvel, like James Gunn, for literally the same thing. For the same thing. Yeah. So they're all over the place, and they won't let go of Ezra Miller when he's literally caught on video, like beating some girl up. So I don't know. It's all over the place, but I think Johnny is just more in the public view right now, and that's why he got fired rather than Amber or anyone else. I don't know why they didn't let go of Ezra. I think that was pretty damn obvious that he was he was terrible.
Well, I will say this though, like think about the Justice League reshoots that are happening right now, right? So we have Ray Fisher, who's actively arguing with Warner Brothers because he says they mistreat people, but he's working on a property that is going to line their pockets with money.
Yeah,
which is weird to me. Then we have Ezra Miller, obviously, and Amber Heard being involved with this Justice League movie. My biggest thing is, like, you didn't have to have Amber come back. Like, you didn't have to include her in that film. Yeah. He chose to have her back. So it's not even an issue of whether or not she's contractually obligated to be an Aquaman 2, because I kind of expected that was going to be a thing. But when it comes to Justice League, you actively invited her to come back and cut and film scenes. So, I mean, it's really, really, really strange to me, the whole thing. And I feel like Warner Brothers is super, super problematic, which is why when we go back to Nadria, is it Nadria Tucker? Yeah, I want to make sure I got her name right. And she's saying these shady things are going on. I'm not totally ready to dismiss it, because look at what's happening with Warner Brothers. Like, I can't say that it's absolutely not happening. I can say it sounds sketchy, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So it's such a weird situation. In the chat, guys, let us know. Do you think that Warner Brothers was right or wrong? Should they have let both of them go? What do you guys think? We have a super chat from Gary here. How far into the summer do you think the shows will stretch? And Ben, are you doing a stream this Thursday? And I love all 4 of our channels. I guess he means Canada Graphs as well. So Ben, you answer yours first. Are you going to be doing a stream Thursday?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Okay.
That's all.
That's
Thanks for reminding me. 15 and a half hours until I pick up my PlayStation 5.
That's a flex. That is a flex, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a flex.
Cannot wait. Went the other day, got my fast pass. I get to go in at 7 a.m. Somehow, there are like over 150 people at my store that have pre-orders at a small EB Games. I'm number 121. So hopefully a good amount of them don't show up at 7 a.m. and they just go through the numbers quickly and I can get it. Cannot wait. For those wondering what my pre-order consists of, thank you for asking. I did not get the one with the disc because I didn't think it was worth it. I'm more of and I already had some games on PS4 that I'll be able to get onto the PS5 digitally and then get.
That's another flex because Paige is going to rebuy all of his games on digital. He doesn't need to play them.
No, I'm not. However, I did pre-order Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game. So I think as soon as I plug my PlayStation in, that should be available for download.
Guys, I think you need to stop watching Paige's videos. You're just making him buy PS5s and shit.
Well, actually, I didn't pay a cent. I traded.
That's even bigger flex. That's a bigger flex.
I traded in my PS4. Oh, actually, you know what the funniest thing is? I had another Xbox One and it sort of like blew up, but this is like back in the day. So I went to a place, I'm sure this is in England as well, Cash Converters.
No.
I know you have Cash Converters over there, so eat a doodle. Anyway, so I went to Cash Converters like a year and a half, 2 years ago, bought an Xbox One from there, paid $200, went to EB Games the other day, traded in for $225. Don't ask me how the math there worked, but imagine if you just kept doing that. Went to Cash Converters and you'd make $400 profit in a day. It'd be ridiculous. Obviously, you have to have some money to begin off with, but if you want to, there's some buy and sell at a good price. Anyway, back to the PlayStation 5 bundle. Okay, so I've gotten the digital edition of the PS5, so no disc. I think it looks better without the disc. The disc makes it look like it's an alien ship with a hernia, so I don't really want to deal with the disc area. I also got an extra controller. because FIFA got to play, and also I got NBA 2K, so I can play some basketball. Anyone remember that song? Anyway, obviously not.
It's demonetized.
Actually, what's the
We even have basketball.
What's the theme song from Space Jam? Gotta make it jam. What's the theme song?
I don't know, but
anyway, so I got the extra controller and the charging dock to charge said 2 controllers. It's going to be an epic day. I can't wait for tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Also tonight in Australia, got State of Origin Rugby League. How good? Up the Blues, probably going to lose, which will suck. But anyway, how good! There will be a photo, so look out on Twitter tomorrow in about 16 hours time, because by the time I get back to my car and everything, probably be about 16 hours from now.
He's got a car, people.
Remember when I posted my Jeep?
That's another flex. Yeah, that's another flex. He's got a car.
A pre-owned 10-year-old Jeep is not a flex. If that's a flex, then Eric currently doing what he is doing with his watch is a flex.
Pagey breathes air. What a flex.
What a flex. Pagey has a fork. What a flex. A metal fork.
As far as the show's going into the summer, I mean, we're Ben,
I don't have that Christian stem in the PS4.
Hold on, I have to put that on the big box there. Look at that. There we go. That is a flex.
I'll take. You know what? I'll take looking like Kylian Mbappe every day of the week. He's actually a very good player. One of my favorite players. Very OP in FIFA.
The shows we're probably going to have a very tiny break in between seasons. Most of the shows are probably like what are you thinking? Like 2 months between shows? Maybe that in the middle before they come back.
Well, they're gonna finish like sometime early summer, I guess, and then they're gonna be starting to go back to film. Hopefully, I guess they want to go back to film sometime closer to normal. Around July time or August. So I guess they want to reach the full date again. That's my presumption. So yeah, I think like a few months maybe.
Victor with the $4.99 super chat and a Team Eric member. Thank you so much, Eric. I think you have to do another live chat with what's up in Pagey's life. So like a live chat, like with just what's going on with Pagey. That would get demonetized within the first 30 seconds, probably, because he would start flexing immediately. Like I would turn on the chat, and it would just be like he would be like, "Oh, by the way, I went and threw like $50 out the window yesterday." And like, I don't need it. Like, seconds.
And welcome to the jam.
Oh, no.
If you want a jam, there we go. Space Jam.
No.
Now good.
No.
Everybody get up. It's time to slam now.
No. Anyway, yeah, that would like that. That's what would happen. It would get demonetized immediately. So Tom here says, did you hear WandaVision might getting delayed until 2021? I thought they finished filming. Well, I read the article, and even though I kind of retweeted it, I think it's an international thing. I think we might still get it in December, but I would not be surprised if it gets delayed. Like straight up, I would not be totally.
Didn't they say it came out January? I think they said it's coming out January.
Well, then it is getting delayed. Is it getting delayed later than January?
I'll tell you what, is Cyberpunk getting delayed again? They took the release date off their freaking Twitter.
So the answer to this question, Gary, no, I am not. And no, I do not. Does. Pagey, are you married and do you have kids?
I'm married to the commitment to my subscribers, Gary.
Oh.
And every one of you are the children.
Oh,
regardless of whether you're older than me or not.
And Ben has been married. Yeah, go ahead.
Just imagine some weird like Back to the Future crap or something like that. That's
Ben is married to the game. Like he's just straight up married to the game.
I'm married to the game. Paige is my dad, and I wish he was. But
Quindolin says, I wouldn't be surprised if WandaVision is delayed. Can they come out with Falcon and Winter Soldier? Quindolin, I'm on the same page as you. Release the shows. # release some content.
Release the actual content we paid for. # that.
Oh, look, Vasily. Pagey has one child. His name is Ben. There we go.
I would never name my child Ben. I would not want him to get bullied.
Jeremy is the MVP. I'm just here for Gary's super chats. I mean, it's like Canada Graphs. Gary has clearly ran out of DCTV shows to ask. Like, yeah.
You just put a comment like Gary would if you got a word.
Yeah, that's true. We could do that. So I think we got all the super chats. I'm scrolling back up, and I think we did all of them. So.
I got two jokes.
Okay.
If you got jokes ready there, Eric?
I got 2 jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eric.
Did Ben bring jokes today? Is that the question?
I got a few. Don't worry, I'm not unprepared.
Demonetization.
Oh, great. Here we go. So who's going first since you've got 2? Should I go
Has
first?
Ben got any?
Yeah, I
Ben
got
says
some.
he has some, yeah.
Okay, you go. I'll go last on each round. So do 2 each.
All right. So Ben, you go first. What's your first joke?
All right. Here goes nothing. How did Darth Vader know what Luke got him for Christmas?
I don't know, the Force.
He felt his presence.
Oh,
Jesus
dad
Christ.
joke or bad joke? Was that a dad joke or a bad joke or a sad joke? I want to
Or a rat joke.
with these holiday themed gifts or jokes. Come on now. All right. So why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? I know Paige is going to know this one already.
It was too tired.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Was mine a bad joke, a dad joke, a sad joke, or a glad joke? Was it
Or
a
a
glad
rat
joke? Or a mad joke? Was it mad?
Or a fad joke. Just a fad.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Paige, your go.
Okay. Anyway, so I'd really like to congratulate Donald Trump on his tremendous achievement the past week. The silver medal in the 2020 election. It's a great achievement.
That was a bad joke.
That was
was a
real
bad one.
bad.
That was bad. That was bad. Wait, sad joke because we already knew it. Yeah, that was sad. That was pretty sad. Gary's got a super chat, you guys. Do you remember him from last stream?
I don't.
No.
Mm.
I remember Barry Beaumont. He was doppelganger.
I don't know. Thank you, Gary, for the super chat. But yes, of course, I remember you. Of course. All right. So Ben, your go.
All right. Where did the coffee file a police report?
Say that again.
Where did the coffee file a police report? Understand?
The donut.
Nah. It got mugged.
Oh, wow.
Bad joke, glad joke, sad joke, Harry Potter joke. I don't know. Why did the Invisible Man turn down the job?
Because he wasn't there.
No, he couldn't see himself in it.
Wow. Okay, are you ready for the final one?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, do it.
Donald Trump really experienced 2020
Oh
over the
my
past couple
God.
months. He got COVID, lost his job, and he's about to get evicted. Let's see you next week on the after party.
Anyway.
After party.
Thank you guys so much for stopping in. As always, Pagey here with us. And special guest, we had Ben from the DCTV show.
Okay.
Wait. Look, before we go, look at this.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Turn away, kids. That's too much.
Felicity Paige.
That's too much heat. That's too much heat.
Felicity mice. She's the fourth meister.
Okay.
Anyway,
So hold on. Are we doing the beatbox freestyle outro, or are you skipping that this week?
I'm skipping that this week. You can.
Okay,
beatbox
Ben,
if
you
like.
can take
Here.
over.